Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, this is KPI Pro tip number 15. And this is a question from Angela. It's in response to one of my earlier KPI Pro tips around hustle and making 80 calls a day to get that momentum in your business going. And Angela is kind of talking a little bit around, well, that's fine if you're B2B because it's easier to find businesses, but what about if you're B2C? She's a naturopath. Her customers are people that are kind of having adrenal fatigue and they're worn out and they've got low energy, specifically around women, I think. And she said in response to my 80 calls a day, it's not just a matter of opening up the phone book. So really this is a conversation about how do I start getting traction? How do I find these people to contact in the first place to start bringing my first clients through the door? The first thing that I would encourage everyone, including you, Angela, to examine is your level of commitment. How bad do you really want this business to succeed? Matthew Michaelvitz, who's our pitching mentor here in Australia, really confronts people in the way that he sets up this test around your commitment. Because he'd hear you say, oh, you can't just start in the yellow pages. And he would say, well, if there was a gun to your head, would you start with the yellow pages? If you had to have 10 clients in the next 2 weeks and all you had was the yellow pages, would you pick up the phone? Or would you let the trigger get pulled? What about if it was against your kid's head or someone that you really care about? Now that's extreme. And some of you are probably listening to this going, Glenn, you've gone too far. It's a thought experiment. And the thought experiment is to help you draw the conclusion that there are a world of additional possibilities available if the consequences of failure are significant enough. Suddenly people pick up the yellow pages, no sweat. I just find that most people are looking for the easy option. They're looking for the easy way out. The KPI method, the 5 Ps, becoming a key person of influence, is most definitely a fast track out of the struggle. But it doesn't abdicate work. It doesn't abdicate actually getting out there and picking up the phone and pushing against whatever discomfort you may have or the difficulty required to do that. Everything, all of those conversations get so much easier when you've got a platform of collateral, when you're pumping out great content through your media business, right? You've got to see yourself in the business of media. Your email, your database, your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Snapchat, whatever channels your market are engaging with, you need to be pushing out content to them and you need to be engaging them, building your list, creating that connection. That's a great space where leads come from. Check out the product posters. Lead capture, lead capture, lead capture. Pick up the phone, conversation with said captured leads. Again, if the gun's to your head, you've got, I don't know how many friends you've got on Facebook, I'd say it's more than 100, and I'd say if you contacted them and say, hey, this is what I'm doing with my business, do you know any women that are burnt out, that are struggling, that are high performers, that would love more energy? I'd love to have a conversation with them. I'm writing a book, I'm doing all this kind of stuff. Suddenly, well, yeah, here's a couple of people you could talk to, why not? And suddenly the traction starts to build. From insights you get from those conversations, you put that into your blog, you put that into Facebook, you start to get that conversation going. Private groups, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, of some of the transformations in people's faces when they didn't have energy and they had adrenal fatigue to suddenly they're now enlivened. Start capturing the essence of this and the quality of this and just going all into it. But it starts with the willingness to pick up the phone and to do the things that most people don't. Andrew Griffiths talks about the 1%. Not the Occupy New York, Wall Street 1%. I'm talking about the 1% of people that are willing to do the things that 99% of everybody else aren't. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Pro Tip 15. Leave some comments. You know I love them. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.